Aloha.
Aloha.
I came across an article recently online where this online tech author, presenter named, Douglas Rushkoff, you may have heard of him, was invited to be the keynote speaker at a very posh resort. And so he went to deliver what he had prepared as a lecture on the future of technology. And, well, he sat in what he thought must be the green room because he was preparing for his speech. Rather than go out into an audience of an imaginable 100 or 200 people, 5 very distinguished, obviously wealthy, gazillionaire billionaires, the wealthy elite, 5 men came in to ask him questions. And he realized, aha, that's what he was there for. And basically what they were asking him about was what they called the event. They didn't define it as to whether they were talking about nuclear holocaust or economic collapse or, heaven forbid, some kind of unstoppable virus. But as they spoke of the event, they wanted to know things like, where is it safer, New Zealand or Alaska? They also wanted to know if Google has actually built, is it true that Google has built a facility for Ray Kurzweil's brain, and will the brain survive the event? They talked about their own underground arsenals. It's not the word as much as it's a bunker, I suppose.
Bunker, right.
They're going to bug away to these bunkers to save themselves with a community of workers to help protect them and do their bidding. But at the same time, they're worried because they would take their money with them, but then they know that money is going to become worthless in this event. And so how are they going to control the workers from an uprising where they choose a different leader and turn against the gazillionaires? So they had questions of this nature. Along with the article, or maybe in another one, there's this list of these questions I read that the Nobel Prize winners, now these are the people that gave the Nobel Prize to Obama, let's remember, but they came up with their idea of what the event is going to be. And so they're giving 34% to population rise or environmental degradation. They're giving 23% to the possibility of nuclear war, 8% to infectious disease, and then they go all the way down to 2% for Trump and drugs, and 2% for Facebook, that Facebook could be the cause of this event, whatever it is. I know that Jack has his hand on the pulse of the event, and it may be time that we introduce a little reality check into the hubbub, so he can't wait. We've got to clock up so that we won't go too long on this. It could be a 1-hour presentation, but see what you can do with it. Honey, quit briefly. Tell the folks the event.
All right, the event is nothing that you aforementioned. The event that they may be referring to is the expansion event. It's not well received, and it's supposedly been debunked that there hasn't been any expansion events since the Pandora one continent, and how it's drifted and split apart and things like this, to where the earth has actually expanded to cause these events to happen. They happen on a fairly regular basis to an essence and an entity that is a living organism that is 4.6 billion years old. They're a regular basis. So that's what's happening. The earth is expanding from within. Everything we've been taught about the core of the earth and the different layers moving up is all nonsense. Admiral Byrd, if you need to look and reference, you look up Admiral Byrd, who also has been since debunked.
BYRD, yeah?
BYRD, Admiral Byrd. He's been there, as have I, on 4 different occasions. It's a real place. It's not someplace you can just go to. It's by invite, because the channels and the pathways are not found readily.
And that there is inner earth.
That is inner earth. It's called Agartha. She's expanding. Scientists in the 1960s were talking, in fact, earlier than that in the 50s, were talking about what they called the core of the Earth was expanding within the planet. And that the doom and gloom that was going to bring. Well, what was actually expanding in the planet wasn't the core, because there is no core. It was the great central sun magnet, this made Dyson sphere object that is an inner world sun. It's energized still by the actual sun, by the rotation of how it gets through its different channels and portals, the north and south pole being the largest portals that you can literally enter into. Satellite pictures have proven this, to which NASA has obviously photoshopped so that we don't see the openings, but they're there.
So the event.
That's the event. It's Mother's expanding. This is her. She expands every. Just to make it short, she expands every 2.1 years, every 21 years, every 201 years, every 2,100 years, and on and on and on. What we're approaching now is a 2,601,000 year cycle, where her expansion will create more of herself, as she always has. And that's what this event that they're all talking about, these 5 specific people were talking about. It's the event where nothing that is now, the systems that exist now, will not be in place. And there's no safe place to be other than within the frequency, vibration, and resonance of Mother herself. Just like nature and the animals will survive this event, mankind can too if they're up for the challenge. We can co-create paradise as well as we can co-create oblivion. We choose oblivion, that's on us.
So it's what you hold in your heart.
It is.
All right, bring it.
That's it.
Aloha.
Aloha.